What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Game Theory, Your Shiny Pokemon is Doomed to Die. If you want to know why I picked this, it was a part of my recommendations, and when I saw this, I thought the answer is simple. Because in the games, the chances of getting shiny Pokemon are very, very low percentage. Starters are very hard and very rare to get, especially in shiny form. I think their percentage was 0.05. I don't remember the percentage exactly, but it was very low. Like, I think it was below 5%, but I think that's in a certain game. I don't know about that one entirely. But yeah, I can easily say shiny Pokemon are doomed to die, mainly because in the anime, we don't get a lot of shiny Pokemon. If we count how many shiny Pokemon there are and were in the canon, not like some of the movies that are not canon. I mean the actual canon movies. If we count all those, yeah, it's very low. I think the first ever shiny Pokemon that was truly introduced was the Red Gyarados, and that was only in the video games. I'm not too sure about the anime. I like to say that it happened sooner, but I don't remember seeing any shiny Pokemon within Kanto for the anime. I mean, I think the first one was Noctowl. You know, Ash's shiny Noctowl. But yeah, I can't really say that it's all surprising. I think the thing is because of how low the percentage is. Now, if there was an actual reason why shiny Pokemon are like doomed to die, then it would make sense. It would make sense, but I have to say that I don't think that I'm going to like the answer of why shiny Pokemon are doomed to die. It could be because they're being poached or something like that. So again, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, this was a part of my recommendations, one of the top picks, but yeah. I know this was like years ago, but I'm willing to check out some old game theory stuff. I haven't really seen them all. The one I can say I have seen was the old FNAF. So anything from, I guess, VR to like the very first one, I have seen. If yeah, that's really it. I haven't really seen other game theory stuff, so because FNAF is a big thing, and I do have tons and tons of theories of why this and why that, and I just tend to see it because I want to know if I'm right on some theories or not. But yeah, again, with this said, hope you all enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if you did. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when a new video comes out. If you have any video recommendations, put it down in the comment section below. I will react to it as soon as possible. The link to this video will be down in the description below. With all this said, let's start with the video, shall we? Okay.
Well, Mepet's getting ready for his big flex. I trained Pokemon in years past. Now look in awe as I show you my Pokedex. Read it and weep, my Pokemon are shiny. A red Pika and a yellow...
Hey. Why? Hey. Is he really singing about shiny? Wait. I thought shiny Pikachu was orange, not red. What?
Pile of swine, it's divine, you know they're all shiny. I've got rare colors coming out my wazoo. It's very true, don't you know? I went and caught them all with my different types of Pokeballs. Watch them shimmer, my Pokemon are shiny.
Never try to copy a Moana song like that, Ken. Please? The scary thing was, that song actually goes with shiny Pokemon, and the lyrics are pretty spot on with it. So I have to give him tons of credit for that one, because I really did not think a Disney song would fit into a theory thing or even a Pokemon thing, especially when it came to just talking about shiny Pokemon. Jeez. I think you can really make a song out of anything if you actually tried.
Internet, welcome to Game Theory. Today we're gonna talk about how all your shiny Pokemon are doomed to die. If you're not already familiar, shiny Pokemon are the rare variants of your favorite cuddly pocket monsters that have a different color palette than the other members of their species. Black Charizards, blue Ponytas, golden Magikarps, cause let's be honest.
I actually think, you know what? Tell me what your favorite shiny Pokemon is. I honestly adore the shiny Charizard. It's my favorite. My second favorite would have to be shiny Umbreon. I just love the Umbreons.
Anything to make this useless fish even remotely cool is a welcome change. But catching these guys comes with, well, a catch. Finding shinies has truly amped up the difficulty of catching them all, considering their appearance rates have been reported to anywhere between 1 in 500 to 1 in 8,192. When I say that these guys are...
Yeah. To just get a shiny starter, you're just gonna have to start your game, turn it off, start it, turn it off, reset, over and over and over again until you actually get a shiny. And then you have to consider that it actually has the ability you want. Like a shiny Charmander has the ability, I don't remember its second ability, but it actually takes away health, if I'm correct. I don't know. I mean, that's why I don't really use a Charmander with that ability. It just seemed too risky to me.
rare, I mean they
Oh, you also have to
are
consider the
rare.
nature.
Now, it's tempting to just write this off as yet another way to make Pokemon
really
sticky
hard.
for the player, give them more things to chase, more rare
Ridiculous.
things that'll deliver a satisfying shot of dopamine into the brain, yet another badge of honor that you can lord over all your Pokepals, and most importantly of all, more things to love and cuddle and buy as merch at your local Spencer's Gifts. But here's the thing, friends, shiny Pokemon are real. Or to put it more correctly, this is actually a place where Pokemon mirrors real-world biology. Throughout the animal kingdom, there are real-world shinies, rare cases of animal appearing in unusual colors. And to understand why your favorite shiny is doomed to die a tragic death, well, we have to look into the science of what's really going on. When it comes to real-world shiny animals, you're probably familiar with some of the more common examples, like the black sheep.
Oh, Diane, we're two misunderstood souls. Everyone else is a phony.
But while you probably already knew that your dark
Yes, the black sheep. Hilarious. No, it's not. It's actually quite sad that people made a reference to black sheep, and that's basically being the black sheep of the group, which is being completely different from everyone else. Yay, way to make people feel better about themselves by taunting them with that word. You are so great. Not really. I just find that derogatory. Derogatory? I find it wrong. I find it wrong that people would just judge someone for being different. I feel it's wrong to just comment and just say someone that you don't know is just the black sheep of a group of friends. So what? That's what makes life interesting, to be honest. Because sometimes you can make the bestest of friends with people you don't have a lot of common things with. I honestly don't see why people would go with this term of phrase.
colored shiny Wooloo was based in reality, some others are so rare that not even the Pokemon fandom pages have made the connection. For instance, did you know that Clauncher is probably most directly inspired by the blue lobster, an animal so rare that it has about a 1 in 4 million chance of appearing. Makes the game's 1 in 8,000.
A 1 in 4 billion chance of a blue lobster appearing. So the shiny one is, instead of blue, it's the regular color of a
chance for a shiny encounter seem pretty good. A little less dramatic than the blue lobster are mammals like the black-backed jackal, which normally looks like this. Note the black colored fur on its back, but there are shiny variants that look like this, with a reddish colored fur. Same thing with giant pandas. Where you'd normally expect them to look black and white, there is one panda in known existence that was born with reddish or brownish fur.
Really? That's actually really cool. Kind of sucks that no one can really see that in real life. I mean, you have to have insane luck just to see it.
And similarly, you got badgers, who are most commonly black, but very rarely you'll see one with reddish-brown fur. Of course, it's not just seafood and mammals that'll show up with unusual pigmentation either. Take, for instance, the ball python, which normally looks brown and black, but occasionally appears with white skin covering most of its body. A rare variant that, like a shiny Pokemon, is highly sought after by collectors. Which brings us back to our original question. What is it that makes these animals appear in unusual colors, and why are they so rare? Well, it all comes down to genetic mutation. Whether it's a mutation that causes extra proteins, like in the lobster, a mutation that causes a deficiency in enzymes, like the jackal and badger, or mutations that affect melanin production, like with the snake and other animals like sea turtles, whales, elk, and zebras, real-life shiny.
Those are some interesting variants, actually. I never thought I would see a pure white whale. I mean, I've seen gray whales with white a bit on it, but not a pure white. The zebra is actually pretty cool, to be honest. I don't know, brown, gray? Brown, I don't know if that's brown or gray. Maybe it's tan. Or maybe it's like a reddish hue. And a white moose, you don't really see those. You would mainly see brown fur ones.
And by proxy Pokemon shinies are all caused by genetic mutations that don't normally occur in nature. But that's only half the story. The other factor at play here, and the other thing that makes them so rare, is the fact that most of them don't survive to adulthood. Oftentimes, the same genetic mutations that cause them to be colored differently also impact crucial skills like the ability to see. For instance, piebaldism, which is the official name for the coloring pattern that we saw in that snake, is genetically similar to albinism, a condition that affects both humans and animals. In albinism, the body is unable to produce enough melanin. In most places, this doesn't make a significant difference. However, it also includes a lack of melanin in the eyes, where lower amounts of that pigment can actually affect your ability to see. As a result, a large number of people with albinism are legally blind due to how highly photosensitive their eyes are. Lower melanin levels also means paler skin, which in turn greatly increases the risk of sun damage. But unlike humans, in the animal kingdom, albino and piebald animals don't have the option of hopping over to the local Tesco to pick up some sunglasses and a tube of SPF 50. It's not just humans that have to worry about things like skin cancer and radiation burns from too much sun exposure. These things happen to animals too, and unfortunately, a melanin deficiency makes these animals less likely to survive. And that's without even mentioning how being bright.
Ah, now I get it. So that's the case of why shiny Pokemon are doomed to die. It's because of the genetic change. Like real world animals. And I can kind of see the example here. Because there are some Pokemon that can actually easily blend with their environment, predators and preys. And I guess in the Pokemon world, preys and poachers can easily find them and actually do whatever they want with them. So, ugh.
White makes you much more likely to stand out to predators relative to your much more camouflaged brethren. Zebras have stripes because the vertical lines allow them to confuse predators when moving as a group, making it more difficult for a lion to identify a target. But if you look different from the rest of the herd, well, it makes it easier for that lion to track you, making it that much more likely that you become the next meal before you can pass on your genes to the next generation.
Yep, that would explain it. So, we got genetic change that can actually affect your health. Genetic change that can actually make you vulnerable to prey, predators, and such. And I guess that could be the same for Pokemon. But they have to deal with poachers too, like I said before.
The more unusual you are, the harder it is to survive to adulthood to pass on those genes. So, being an unusual color on the grasslands, not a great idea. You know where being an unusual color is helpful? In captivity. And here again is where we see video games imitating real life. Unusual color.
You know, the sad thing about this is remarkably true. Like, no matter what, it's gonna be true. The only way these types of animals would probably survive longer is if they live indoors or had an owner that knew how to take care of them.
Make an animal a prize for collectors, which is not that different from shiny Pokemon. I mean, let's face it, there's nothing that screams throw a Pokeball at me more like being a rare color. There's a reason why people grind for hours to capture a shiny Umbreon, because it's rare, because it's a trophy, it's an accomplishment, and
I don't really see it as a trophy. I'm more seeing it as cool. I'm not gonna complain if I don't ever get one, but if I do get the rare chance of getting one, cool, awesome. If I don't, it'll be as it is to be. Plus, you have to hate yourself pretty much if you decide to go really big. Like, capture every single Pokemon, but as a shiny. Believe me, it's terrible.
Gosh darn it, it's cute like that brown little panda. So while being a rare color makes you much more
Sadly true.
likely to die a horrific, grisly death out in the wild, Pokemon or otherwise, it also means that an impressionable 10-year-old is going to be much more likely to save you from that horrific death by throwing his balls in your face, especially when you're compared to, like, I don't know, the 1 millionth Pidgey he encounters. Which brings us to one final and very unexpected comparison between video game shinies and real-world biology. As we just discussed, a lot of the color variants that we see in nature are genetic, meaning that they're hereditary, passed down from parent to child. And so, to some extent, the likelihood of you ending up with a different fur or skin color is dependent on who your parents are. That's not entirely true in the Pokemon universe. Two shiny Pokemon parents getting together does not increase the likelihood of a shiny baby. Let's account Gen 2, where Pokemon shininess was determined by something that was called DVs in a way that hasn't been a part of Pokemon games since. However, if you're looking to breed a...
Wait, there was a thing in the Gen 2 games about that? I'm disappointed that they didn't continue that. If that actually can increase the chance of shinies, probably save a lot of people time. But what do I know? What do I know?
shiny Pokemon, there is one thing that you can do to increase the chances of a special egg. You breed using two parents from different regions. And I'm not talking different regions in the Pokemon world, like
What?
breeding an Alolan Raichu with a Galarian Pikachu to have a higher chance of getting a shiny Pichu. I mean caught in different real-world regions, or more accurately, different languages of the game.
Really? Huh. Now that's a strange one. So what you're saying is, if I had an American Pikachu and it actually had and I had a let's say British Russian Pikachu, well, Raichus at this case. If I had these two Pokemon, my chances of getting a shiny increased? Huh. I actually never knew this. Though that probably only works with Pokemon with gender.
If you take a Pikachu that was caught in an English language version of the game and breed it with a Pikachu that was caught in a Japanese language version of the game, your resulting Pichu is 5 times more likely to be shiny than if you just bred two Pokemon caught in the English language versions. This method of shiny hunting is informally known as the MASUDA method, named after Game Freak director Junichi Masuda, who programmed the mechanic into the game starting with Gen 4 and documented it in his blog. It's a lesser-known mechanic that was designed to bind international Pokemon communities together, encouraging you not only to trade Pokemon with your friends, but to make new friends with people who play the game in different languages and trade with them. Pro tip, by the way, if you got a friend who does have a different language version of the game from you, get them to trade you a Ditto specifically for shiny breeding purposes. The MASUDA...
Huh. Now that's a weird method, but not a bad one.
method seems to suggest that Pokemon that are more different from each other are more likely to produce a shiny Pokemon. That a Spanish Charmander and a Japanese Charmander have a special certain chemistry that makes them 5 times more likely to produce shiny Charmander offspring. But does that square with reality? As it turns out, no. In fact, it's quite the opposite. A lot of real-life shinies are the result of inbreeding. For example, remember the brown panda that I mentioned earlier? According to scientists who discussed the brown panda in Nature magazine, one of the most plausible explanations for the brown panda's origin is inbreeding, a lack of genetic diversity. As pandas become increasingly rare, there's less and less variety in the gene pool, and so it's harder and harder to find pandas to breed with that aren't in some way related to you from a few generations back. That whole lack of genetic diversity leading to a weird coloring is actually something that's happened in humans. The Fugates are a family that lived in the hills of Kentucky and were commonly known as the Blue Fugates, or the Blue People of Kentucky, because for many members of their family, their skin was literally blue. No, this is not photoshopped. No, this is not distorted in any way. This is the actual color of their skin. You see, they...
What the frick? Okay. That's I would not expect blue skin, to be honest. Maybe a different shade of white, but not blue.
Have a rare genetic trait that leads to the disease
Ugh.
METHEMOGLOBINEMIA, which causes blue skin. The cause for this genetic abnormality? Well, for a period of about 200 years, the Fugate family was largely isolated from the outside world in a remote part of the Appalachian Mountains, leading to predictable lack of genetic diversity. Let's just say that their family tree looks a bit more vertical and less wide than you'd expect. As we've discussed, unusual pigmentation is usually the result of adverse genetic mutation, and as you're probably aware, birth defects become more common when the parents are too closely related. In short, the Fugates are a real-world example of humans that are shiny. It's actually a lack of genetic diversity that causes the sort of mutations that result in unusual colors. If the MASUDA method were trying to be biologically accurate, breeding a Japanese Squirtle with a French one would probably have a reduced chance of producing shiny offspring. Luckily, this is the one part of the Pokemon game mechanics that isn't true to real life. So if you happen to be a shiny hunter, it might be worth your while to start making some international friends. If not, well, let's just say you're gonna wind up blue. Dabu-dee-dabu-die. But hey, that's
I'll give you credit for that one. I love that song. Blue. No, I'm not gonna sing the song. I do not want to get copyrighted for trying to sing that song. But yeah. So, this is something.
just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. I don't know how it's been for you guys, but this winter has been brutal. I mean, sure, maybe it's the fact that this is my first real winter in almost a decade since I moved out of LA, but that doesn't make my numb digits any solution to be better read. And as always, folks, remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
So, wow. That's a crazy theory, to be honest. I can understand the concept. Also, I see now advantages to how to increase my shiny hunting abilities. Yay! No, see, I'm joking. Yeah. Though it's kind of sad to hear the fact that people or animals being isolated and forced to inbreed. Because that's more of a risk for your children and things like that. And I don't think I'm okay with the fact of hearing about inbreeding. I mean, it's a thing back then, but I honestly wish it wouldn't be the case that people die. Also, I don't know what to think about it. It's weird to me. It's just weird. I'm changing the subject anyway. I honestly didn't really think that there was all common with real-life animals and Pokemon. I didn't really know that, like, certain times there's like a shiny animal, and yeah. I never really knew this kind of information. Then again, I don't do tons of research, and I don't watch the news 24/7 or science documentary relating to animals. So I guess that's my fault there for just assuming. But yeah, this is an interesting subject, but not as interesting as you think. The fact that there's mutations that can kill real-world animals due to them being shiny is actually devastating, and I think it's very cruel. But I also like the information detail about having a Pokemon from a different country. That's really cool, in my opinion. I never really knew that they did that. Then again, I never really tried to see if that was true. Huh. Well, it is what it's gonna be. So anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button down below. Tell me your favorite shiny Pokemon once again, and tell me your least favorite shiny Pokemon. I'm not going to talk about real world animals because that kind of makes me sad, the fact that seeing a shiny animal would actually lead to them possibly dying sooner than expected. But my favorite shiny is the shiny Charizard, and my least favorite, that's a tough one. Well, if I have to say, and please don't take this the wrong way, but I have to say my least favorite one is I think Shiny Vaporeon. No, not Shiny Vaporeon. Oh, this is a tough one. There's a lot of shinies I don't like. I don't have a definitive one that I dislike. Huh. You learn something new every day. I guess any Pokemon that doesn't look too different. So I guess Shiny Pikachu, because I always expected that his shiny form would be grand, spectacular, more amazing, because like he's the icon of Pokemon. But yet it's like a different shade of color. It's like comparing the color of Pikachu now to his old color. It honestly reminds me of the beginning anime color for Pikachu. So I think that's why I dislike it. Because if that's the case, then that Pikachu should be declared a shiny. All it did was change the color of yellow, make it more brighter, more refined. And if we compare it from back then to now, like, you see this image? That is almost exactly what a shiny Pikachu looks like. That's why I don't like it as much as I should. But, yeah. Once again, the link to this video will be down in the description below. That said, I hope you all enjoy. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.